you and your husband have been very vocal in promoting what you call the giving pledge. No? That's a public compromise in which very wealthy people, billionaires, compromise to donate at least half of what they've earned to philanthropy. Have you talked to Carlos Slim about it?
Well, we've talked to many philanthropists about it, and it's really a private decision that philanthropists take. We've talked to many behind the scenes, and I don't like to name names of who we have and haven't talked with. I think the most important thing, though, is that somebody starts down the journey of philanthropy. So whether they make the pledge, which is a moral pledge, it's not a legal obligation, and they say, I will give 50% either in my lifetime or at my death, that's a step in the right direction. Other people start in a different way, which is they actually start giving, and then later they decide to join the pledge. So I don't know whether Carlos will choose to in the future, but he is certainly doing a huge amount of giving in Mexico and has been for over 20 years, and I have huge respect for that.
Yeah, he has, but there's no Mexican in that list.
Well, maybe there will be one day. I certainly hope so. Yeah.
But today, again, as we speak, there are lots of men who still tell women if they can have or cannot have lots of children, and they can still tell women if they can go to the doctor or not. It happens in Mexico. What can we do about it? It's 2015.
I'm as outraged as you are about that, and I think it's why we have to put the information in the hands of a woman. We have to help her with that decision making. Sometimes it's bringing her together with other women to stand up for what her rights are, and we have to give her the tools. So we've got to give her contraceptives, and women all over the world will tell you they want contraceptives, quite honestly, that are covert from their husband, so they can take that decision themselves.
You are Catholic too. You studied in an all-girls religious school, and you were taught to read and write by a great aunt who was your...
she was a Dominican nun.
He was a Dominican nun. And you're very vocal about contraceptives. Do you think it's fair? I've used contraceptives as a Catholic. I suppose you have too, because you have 3 children spaced 3 years. You think, but we have sinned according to our church. You think that's just, that's fair, it should be revisited by Pope Francis?
Well, so I've been very vocal about the fact that I use contraceptives, and that over 90% of American women use contraceptives, and even Catholic women report using contraceptives.
98% in Mexico.
So I think we're at the point where people have to make the right choice for their family. What I look at with the Catholic Church is where we have a common shared mission around the poor, which we absolutely do. I love that Pope Francis has taken the mission of the church back to the poor. We make a huge number of investments with Catholic Relief Services organization around the world. So I focus on the places that we have commonality, as opposed to saying, well, these are the places that we differ.
Okay, but you didn't answer.
Do I think women should have access to contraceptives, to modern contraceptives? Yes, I do.
One of the emphasis of the foundation is health, of course. Other is education. And I want to ask you, you have 3 children, Jennifer, Rory, and Phoebe. Apart of the academic and school education, what are the primal concerns about their family education and the values you want them to have?
Well, I think it all starts with teaching your children values, and I think it's about living those values out and them seeing you live those out and walking the talk. And so for our family, we really talk about a respect for all individuals, no matter where they live on the planet, no matter what background they come from. We talk about a responsibility as a family to give back. We've been lucky enough to be born in a high-income country, lucky enough to get a great education and to have good health, and so we have something to give back.
Are they interested in the foundation and continuing the philanthropy work?
They're certainly interested in philanthropy, and we talk maybe almost too much about the foundation at home. There was a little story when Jen was young. She was about 4, and she had a friend over, and they put her dolls down. They were going to doctor the dolls, and she said to her doll, "Lay down, you have HIV/AIDS." And I thought, oh my gosh, Bill and I have overdone it, right? So we talk about the foundation all the time at home, and they're interested to hear from Bill and me what we're doing, what we're excited about. But on their level of philanthropy, we're taking them out in the community to volunteer and letting them get that hands-on experience, both in the Seattle community And even in Africa.
So it is regularly common for children with very wealthy parents to be maybe spoiled brats. What have you done to prevent this?
Well, you know, you certainly hope that your children are going to grow up the way that you imagine, and I think we're on that path. But I think some things we instilled early on was, one, we're incredibly lucky to be in the situation that we're in. Two, they have to work and work hard for things. So my kids do get an allowance. They do have chores. We do the family dishes all together at night. You know, one of them puts the trash out, the other's in charge of the dog on certain days. You know, they pass back and forth those responsibilities. So teaching them the ethos of hard work, you don't just get things handed to you,